So as requested by Setlist Tees, we got June 22nd, 1994. It says a lot about Phish that over 20 years later, we still care about this show. Probably a top 10 show in the band's history, right here in powerful Ohio, Columbus, Ohio to be exact, on Spaceship Earth. Llama, Guelah, Papyrus, Rift, Gumbo, that's how the first set starts out. Guelah, Papyrus has pretty much all but disappeared. Gumbo, always been around, staying strong. Maze, If I Could. The only alligator mouth in the first set was If I Could. Sin of a Mule, Stash, Golgi. So that's how the first set ends. You like Stash in 94, of course you do. Golgi as well. Second set, though, that's why we're here. Perhaps one of the best second sets in the band's history. Yep, we got nothing there. Shitty camera. 2001 Mike song. You just got to take my word for it. Heavy alligator mouth action. Now this is where it really gets hot. The simple Catapult, simple, unbelievable. Probably some of the best alligator mouths of all time from this band. You knew back then, if you saw Walk Away or Catapult, it was a must-have show. If you were there, if you were on mushrooms or something like that, at this point you were just going nuts. Icculus, probably the best Icculus of all time. Trey again updates you on the score of the NBA Finals. Gives a shout out to Kareem, but he meant to say Hakeem. Tries to cover it by adding Shalim. Nobody knows who Shalim is, Trey. We know Kareem and Hakeem. But anyhow, it's beside the point. The Icculus, finally they take a break to give the crowd a moment to give them a little bit of a bravo. But they weren't done. They finished simple. Take it right back in. Finish mics, alligator mouth, hydrogen, Weekapaug groove. If I have any complaints, it's that Weekapaug was only 3.5 minutes. That's because they alligator mouthed it right into The Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday. Avenu, Malkenu, you know it was coming. Back into The Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday. My old signature back in the day on RMP, if anybody recalls that. Probably like, oh no, that guy. Fluffhead, my sweet one. Disc 3 here on the show, on the disc, on the album, whatever you call this. Starts out with the big ball jam. Now I totally get why Phish would want to bring the crowd in on this night. They knew they were on fire. The crowd was loving it. Great crowds back in those days. You could hear it during The Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday, man. Everybody just quieted down, paid attention to the band. But the big ball jam, you know, I was never there for one, but it just fell flat a lot of times when you were listening to shows, especially just starting out a disc with the big ball jam. There's always that humiliating moment. Somebody gets in your car, you were listening to Big Ball Jam by yourself, and they're just like, dude, this is Phish. Jesus Left Chicago, Sample in a Jar. Thank God you could quickly skip to those songs. Carolina and Cavern. Detroit nailed the lyrics to Cavern. And then even on the disc here, you got a little filler from Indy. Demand, Run Like an Antelope. So as I said, requested by Setlist Tees, and I'm glad he did, because I wanted to relive this show. I'm glad I did. One of the best second sets ever. One of the best shows ever. Pretty sure I included in my top 10. Top 10 Phish shows of all time, that is. Alright. F-Zappa 20. P-Phish. Did I say chompers? There you go. There wasn't a lot of chompers in 94. They were coming, though. They were on their way. There's probably a few that have already crept in.